Was that just dumb luck? What's up guys, Jason here, aspiring entrepreneur, showing you the day in the life of a budding entrepreneur, the hustle of building a business, the grind of creating content. And on the topic of content, check out this sweet repost that I got from Founder over on Instagram. It was really cool to get a shout out from those guys because they have a super big account, and it was just a picture of me essentially, praising their new book. And what I wanted to kind of transition that win into is number of occurrences when it comes to content creation. So not directly related, but it got me thinking, like, why did I have that opportunity where other people didn't? And why might I have been chosen out of the hundreds of posts? I didn't win their little contest, but I guess, consolation prize, I get some brand awareness, which is pretty sweet. So when it comes to content creation, I think number of occurrences is really important when it comes to being successful. So over in trading, what we used to do is we wanted to increase the number of trades we had to increase our chances of essentially being right, because every trade you put on, you have a chance of being right and you have a chance of being wrong. Play with probabilities. You just wanted to get more number of occurrences, right? It was all about number of occurrences. And I think the same is true to a certain extent with content. Now, obviously, keeping your content at a minimal or good quality level, you get to decide what that is. You want to pump out as much as possible. Because similar with trading, you have your probabilities, you do your homework, you do your research, you put a ton of time and effort. I mean, whether this is a Instagram post or a YouTube video like this one, or over on Facebook video if that's working for you as well. And you do everything in your power to make the piece of content the best it can be. But at the end of the day, it's the marketplace, it's your audience, it's the social media sphere that decides whether or not it sucks. And so when it comes to producing content, you want to define whatever your baseline value is. And then after that, it's up to the marketplace to decide whether or not they like your headline, whether or not they like your inspirational post, whether or not they like your video. For example, on my channel, 3 videos account for 80% of my views. I would have never pegged those 3 videos as being that successful. However, because I have a solid content strategy where I'm posting content every single day, I'm increasing the chances of one of those videos taking off. So it's definitely not a luck game, because that chances of taking off is just a bonus on top of a solid strategy where you're constantly creating content. So that is what I took away from that kind of Instagram post win. And I think it's really important to try to pull a lesson out of every failure and win. Now, it's so much easier to pull lessons out of failures, but failures kind of stink. So I figured I'd go the opposite route, because the last couple of vlogs I've been pretty freaking tired. I'm still tired, but this was a cool win in the midst of this content grind. So with that being said, it's time for me to increase my number of occurrences and produce some more content. And there you go, all done Monday, wrapped up and completed. Definitely was a very difficult start, because I was grinding my teeth in the morning doing content research, like I don't know what the heck I'm gonna do. So a tip for you guys is to batch order your production of content. So for example, I do all my research, then I do all my writing, and then I do all the recording, because really you use different parts of your brain, and that's just what I found to work well for me in terms of producing a bunch of content at once, because I wear my research hat, then I wear my creative hat, and then I wear my recording hat, and then I shave and make sure I look a little better than these vlogs, So it's one of those things where things that I've picked up in terms of trying to produce so much content in so little time, because it's definitely going to be a lot easier for me to produce videos when I'm not doing 2 a day. That is for sure. And another thing I noticed is when you're going through your day as an entrepreneur, and I think one of the things that's been hardest for me in terms of this content creation challenge is most of my day is spent in the business, not on the business. It's not spent in the business. It's spent in the business as opposed to on the business. And so I have a bunch of energy right now because I finally was able to get into Asana and started delegating things left and right, guys. It's the highlight of my day is giving stuff to my team saying, Please do this for me. Thank you. I mean, it just takes such a big weight off my shoulders and allows me to have energy for the vlogs like this and produce better content because I'm not bogged down with all the details. And I think I made 4. So I put together 4 additional reoccurring tasks. So those are 4 tasks that happen every single week that I'm no longer going to have to do. I was able to create the tutorial. I wrote it all out. I do screenshots, so essentially I can hand it to somebody else. They can read the description, go through the tutorial, and then they have it all set, and then, hey, I don't have to do it anymore. And that's part of transferring from being solopreneur, doing everything yourself, to being somewhat of a business and having actual business systems that run for you. So thank you guys so much for watching. It's a short one today, and until the next video, keep building the business you love. Take care.